own property on Pierce Avenue, and I've added their names to this letter. We are all taxpayers and property owners on Pierce Avenue. I don't think there's anything else that I would want to say, except that I do hope that you make the appropriate decision and that we're not back here, maybe not next year, but in 2 more years.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to be heard? Yes, sir.
Stacy Lyon, 35 Marine Avenue.
solemnly swear the testimony about the truth, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
And your name?
Did I just get you, Stacy?
Yes, you have to be sworn in to do my job.
Okay, Stacy, S-T-A-C-E-Y, L-Y-O-N. I'm at 35 Marine Avenue, and I probably go back on this island a lot longer than I'd like to admit. A couple of random thoughts here. I'm a sailor too, love the joys of cruising. One of my favorite places to go is Cuddy Hunk. Cuddy Hunk, as you know, is a marina and a boatyard that does not usually sell food, okay? These are very rare places left on the face of the earth to have a marina. Most people who go cruising, you take your own food. You're not looking for a place to tie up and go to a restaurant. Part of the joys is staying on your boat all the time. You know, getting off exploring the town occasionally, but you take a little walk. The one thing I'm really concerned with, the two things that really concern me, number one are the animals, okay? And I like to, and I'm also a business person, so I like to propose a compromise. There's an awful lot of traffic in the summer that is looking at the shack as a destination. And these are people from Jamestown, and they are whipping down, and they're people from off island too who heard about the shack. Let's go to the shack, let's have lunch, let's do that. They're driving so fast down the street that I hardly have time to jerk my dog and get him off the road. We also have a couple of dogs, because it is a residential neighborhood, we just kind of sit and lay in the road a lot. They lay not just on Narragansett Avenue, but we've got a family with a couple of dogs, and the dogs are old, and they kind of lie in the middle of Marine Avenue. The Kellogg truck that comes from Connecticut is often nice. He drives around like this way from the dogs, you know. So he's learned, and the UPS guy has learned, but I'm really afraid of children and animals. I get up very early, I walk my dog very early. I think that a lot of us in the neighborhood are really afraid that there's going to be a substantial change to the nature of the neighborhood. There will be no more sitting on the front porch of our friends on Narragansett Avenue and enjoying dinner or a cookout because the traffic's going to be too loud and the noise is going to be too loud coming from the shack and from people trying to park. Parking already has been narrowed down because of the placement of picnic tables. So now in summertime, the parking is all the way past Marine Avenue. Okay, because there's just not enough parking for the people who want to go there. What I would like to suggest is have people think about, because I know you've got to have a business and you know you got to keep it viable. I don't think anybody really minds the mornings, okay? If they want to open up early in the morning, I think 6 o'clock at night is too late to be open. Okay? How about we compromise this way? They can have deliveries whenever they want. If they want to open up at 6 or 7 o'clock for coffee and breakfast for the boaters, that's fine. Shut them down at 4. People have boats, and they can take all the time they want, you know, to clean up. But 6 o'clock is dinner time. Then they won't have to say, no, we don't serve dinner. The shack will already be closed.
Do you object, let me slow down. Do you object to them being open after 6 o'clock?
Yes, very strenuously.
Do you object to the deliveries earlier?
Not really. Not really, but I'm not an abutter.
You can send a business plan and make it up.
I'm just making a suggestion. If we give a little bit, maybe they can give a little bit
Well, we're not
too.
going to compromise it. We'll just make a decision. So you object to it?
I very much object.
Right.
I think you change it to a destination and make it a totally different animal.
Can I ask you? Let me ask you a question I'm just became curious about. Is the parking, when the boats are gone, is the parking in the boatyard property?
No.
I'm sorry. Is there, when the boats are in the water, another 6 weeks, 5 weeks from now, when this area is mostly cleaned out, can people park there on that property?
No. Before we took over, there was all the boats there and debris, so there was never parking before us. After we cleared out the derelict coats and the debris, we left it as public access, and we did put picnic tables there before the shack, so people in the community or our boaters can have public access and sit on the beachfront. We had a meeting a couple of weeks ago, or a month ago, with the Parking Commission also that was addressing this issue, and I think what we left at, it was said that there should not be parking along that. It is private property, and we could do the property as we please, and we want it, and we've had it for public access and picnic tables. And our equipment's are there too.
If we have an emergency, can I give my name so I can tell you?
What?
How do you define public access?
What?
You're using the word public access, and what do you mean by public access?
People in the community, as well as our voters, are welcome to come onto our property to sit at the tables, whether they buy something for the shack or customers of ours or not. They're welcome to come onto the property to enjoy it.
There is public access through one of those docks.
Please. But no, we don't have parking there because again, it's an operational boat yard, and we need to be able to have our trucks and the ability to go in.
When you say public access, then you mean people can park on Narragansett and walk down, they can't
Well,
park.
they could park on the bulkhead. The bulkhead, the end of Narragansett Avenue.
There's a little confusion here.
Yeah.
The property line for the boat runs pretty much along the shack, and where all of the boats are stored in the wintertime is owned by the town. And we have a lease with the town. Yeah, I can show you on that picture. If the property line is roughly like this, okay? All of this is town property that we lease for the purpose of storing boats. And this area, town-owned property, is dedicated to public parking for the use by the public, being access to the water.
So somebody who comes down to buy a sandwich at the shack, but then park in that.
Oh, yeah,
on the space.
it's not, it's town property.
Yeah, okay,
That's all town property.
if you draw a line from Narragansett where it takes a bend and run that to the water.
Correct.
Basically, the stuff south of there,
It's town.
southwest is town.
Correct.
Which is about half the road.
Correct.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand your question. I didn't understand your question.
Anyone else like to be heard on this? Yes, sir. Either one, it doesn't matter.
Someone swear the testimony about to give the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
State your name, please.
William C. Brennan, 238 Narragansett Avenue.
Thank you.
We are the immediate abutters just east of Dutch Harbor Boatyard. We've lived there for 17 years, avid sailor, always used to have my launch service at Dutch Harbor Boatyard, and always enjoyed my time at Dutch Harbor Boatyard, which was relatively calm, small boating operation, which I think will always fit in nicely in our residential neighborhood. I think one of the things, I want to clear up a few points that have been made that I don't think are quite accurate. And I also want to just clear up one thing that I know you guys know as the experts, that there's a difference between commercial and commercial waterfront. The Dutch Harbor Boatyard is the only commercial waterfront property that exists today that has a restaurant. Other commercial properties that are on the waterfront are commercial. They're not commercial waterfront, and they don't have restaurants. So I think that's something that you need to consider when Mr. Liberati spoke about actually commercial. The other thing I think we need to clear up is that Mr. Liberati said that there was no advertising last year. There was advertising in the Jamestown Press on a weekly basis when they told us at the previous planning, and I'm not sure if it was at your meetings, but there's minutes and publications in the Jamestown Press that spoke to that there would be no advertising, and they did advertise. They also advertised the shack on their website. There's advertising in some restaurant sites, and I think that didn't follow the intent that the neighbors had signed up to originally in this. So I think, when we're talking about expansion, we need to be concerned about expansion.